Welcome to Wealth Echelon, your go-to spot for smart investing, in-depth ETF insights, and book reviews that help you build wealth. On this channel, we explore everything from the best investment strategies to the latest trends in ETFs and provide valuable takeaways from books that can transform your financial journey. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced investor, our goal is to give you the knowledge you need to make informed decisions and grow your wealth. If you're ready to elevate your financial game, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the bell for updates on all our latest content. In 2025, climbing the credit card ladder remains one of the smartest and most strategic ways to build strong credit, maximize rewards, and gain access to premium financial tools. Whether you're just beginning your credit journey or looking to level up to elite travel and cashback cards, the process involves a series of well-planned steps. It's not about rushing to the top. It's about making deliberate decisions that align with your financial goals, credit history, and spending habits. With new technologies, credit scoring models, and card offerings reshaping the landscape, understanding how to climb the credit card ladder in 2025 has never been more important or more rewarding. Step 1. Start with a solid foundation: secured cards and student cards. For anyone with no credit or limited credit history, the base of the credit card ladder begins with secured credit cards or student cards. Secured cards require a refundable security deposit that usually determines your credit limit. These cards are designed for beginners and are reported to the major credit bureaus, making them a reliable tool for building your score. In 2025, popular secured cards include the Discover It Secured and Capital One Platinum Secured, both offering cashback and automatic credit reviews for potential upgrades. Student credit cards like the Chase Freedom Student or Discover It Student Cashback are tailored for college attendees and often come with modest rewards and no annual fee. These entry-level cards typically have lower credit requirements and are easier to qualify for. The key at this stage is consistency. Always pay on time and never carry a high balance relative to your limit. Your focus here is to establish a strong payment history and demonstrate responsible credit behavior. Step 2. Graduate to unsecured, no annual fee cards. After 6 to 12 months of on-time payments, your credit score should show improvement, and you can look to move up the ladder. The next logical step is to apply for a basic unsecured credit card with no annual fee. These include cashback cards like the Citi Double Cash Card or Chase Freedom Flex, which offer respectable reward rates without costing you anything to hold. At this stage, you're still in the growth phase of your credit journey. Keep your total credit utilization low, ideally below 30% or even 10% for optimal scores. Continue making on-time payments and avoid applying for multiple cards at once. This phase of the ladder is about proving you can handle more credit responsibly while starting to benefit from modest rewards like 1.5% to 2% cash back on your spending. If you started with a secured card, this is also the time to check whether your issuer will graduate you to an unsecured version. Some banks automatically return your deposit and upgrade your account if you've shown responsible use over time. This not only improves your credit mix, but also helps extend your average account age, which benefits your credit score in the long run. Step 3. Diversify with rotating or tiered rewards cards. Once you've built a year or more of positive credit history and your score reaches the 680 to 720 range, you can start diversifying your credit card portfolio with mid-tier rewards cards. These may include cards with rotating categories like Discover It Cashback, tiered rewards like American Express Blue Cash Every Day, which offers higher rewards on groceries and gas, or even cards with introductory bonuses and 0% APR offers. The main goal here is to optimize your rewards based on your spending patterns. If you drive often, a gas rewards card makes sense. If you eat out frequently, dining cards with 3% to 4% back offer great value. At this stage, you can start layering cards strategically to get the best return on your expenses. Some people even create a spreadsheet to track which card to use for which category. Importantly, during this phase, you should also consider opening a second or third card to increase your total available credit, which helps lower your utilization rate, a key factor in your FICO score. However, space out your applications by at least 3 to 6 months to avoid hard inquiry penalties and appear as a responsible borrower. Step 4. Introduce annual fee cards with valuable perks. Once you've built a solid credit profile with a FICO score of 720 or higher, you're ready to explore credit cards with annual fees, but also higher value rewards. This is the stage where you begin trading up to cards that offer travel points, lounge access, premium protection benefits, and massive welcome bonuses. Top contenders in 2025 include the Chase Sapphire Preferred and American Express Gold Card. The Sapphire Preferred offers a lucrative sign-up bonus, 2 times to 5 times points on travel and dining, and access to the powerful Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. The Amex Gold gives exceptional rewards for food lovers, 4 times points on dining and groceries, and strong statement credits that can offset much of its $250 annual fee. The key to making annual fee cards worth it is to ensure the value you derive from them exceeds the cost. If you're a frequent traveler, cards with no foreign transaction fees, trip insurance, and concierge services can be well worth the investment. Use every available benefit, whether it's travel credits, bonus points, or purchase protection, to maximize ROI. This phase is also when you should consider building your point strategy. Many users combine cards within the same issuer's ecosystem, like Chase's Trifecta, Freedom Flex, Freedom Unlimited, and Sapphire Preferred Reserve, to transfer points for outsized value. For example, transferring Chase points to partners like Hyatt or United Airlines can yield rewards far above the 1 cent per point baseline. Step 5. Climb to premium travel and luxury cards. At the top of the credit card ladder sit the ultra-premium cards. These cards typically have annual fees north of $400, but they offer travel perks that justify the price for the right user. Think lounge access, TSA PreCheck, global entry reimbursement, luxury hotel upgrades, and premium concierge services. The Chase Sapphire Reserve and the Platinum Card from American Express are the 2 titans in this tier. The Sapphire Reserve provides 3 times points on travel and dining, a $300 annual travel credit, and access to Priority Pass lounges. The Amex Platinum offers 5 times on flights, comprehensive travel insurance, access to Century and lounges, and over $1,500 in annual statement credits for things like Uber, hotels, digital entertainment, and more. To be approved for these cards, you'll typically need a credit score of 740 plus, a strong income, and a long positive credit history. These cards aren't for everyone, but for frequent travelers and high spenders, they offer the best overall experience. You also gain status with hotel chains and airlines, which further enhances the benefits of card ownership. Premium cards often come with elite concierge services, event access, and generous insurance protections, from trip cancellation to rental car insurance. They are less about maximizing cash back and more about experiential value, luxury, and convenience. If you fly more than a few times a year and stay in hotels regularly, these perks can easily offset the cost. Step 6. Optimize and maintain. Don't close old cards. Once you've reached the top of the ladder, the next step is maintenance and optimization. One common mistake people make is closing old cards that they no longer use. But closing a long-standing card shortens your average account age and reduces your total credit limit, which can hurt your score. Instead, keep old cards open, especially those with no annual fees, and use them periodically to keep them active. This helps preserve your credit history and utilization rate. You can even downgrade premium cards to no-fee versions if you no longer want to pay the annual fee. For example, the Chase Sapphire Reserve can be downgraded to the no annual fee Freedom Unlimited if needed. Also consider product changing within an issuer's ecosystem rather than applying for a new card outright. For instance, American Express often allows upgrades or downgrades between the green, gold, and platinum cards, letting you retain account history while adjusting your benefits to your lifestyle. Keep track of annual fee dates, benefit expirations, and credit reports. Many experts recommend checking your credit at least once a quarter and using tools like Credit Karma, Experian Boost, or your bank's free credit score feature to monitor your progress. Key trends in 2025 that affect your credit card strategy. In 2025, several trends are reshaping how you climb the credit card ladder. First, AI-driven underwriting is making credit decisions faster and more accurate. with some banks offering instant approvals based on non-traditional data like bank account activity or rent payments. Second, BNPL buy now, pay later services are influencing how younger consumers view credit, though they don't build credit in the same way as traditional cards. Additionally, eco-conscious cards that reward sustainable purchases or donate a percentage to climate initiatives are becoming more popular. Companies like Aspiration and Greenlight now issue eco-focused credit cards with purpose-driven rewards. The use of mobile wallets and virtual cards has also increased, especially for security and convenience. You can now request virtual credit card numbers, create disposable numbers for online purchases, and use tap-to-pay features almost everywhere. Finally, the competition among credit card issuers is intensifying. Banks are offering more aggressive sign-up bonuses, limited-time categories, and enhanced security features. Keep an eye out for promotional offers, pre-qualified deals, and special referral programs to maximize your earnings. Final thoughts. Be patient, be strategic. Climbing the credit card ladder in 2025 is both an art and a science. It requires patience, discipline, and a long-term mindset. Start with the basics, secured or student cards, and work your way up through responsible use and strategic upgrades. Know your credit score, understand your spending habits, and choose cards that align with your lifestyle. Don't apply for cards just because others have them. Evaluate your own goals, whether they involve travel, cash back, building credit, or accessing luxury perks, and choose accordingly. Remember that credit cards are tools, not free money. Used wisely, they can unlock a world of value, security, and opportunity. But used recklessly, they can lead to debt traps and financial stress. The good news is that in 2025, you have more resources, smarter tools, and better card options than ever before. With a smart strategy, consistent management, and a clear roadmap, climbing the credit card ladder can be one of the most rewarding financial moves you'll ever make. Thank you for watching Wealth Echelon. We hope you found valuable insights that will help you on your investing journey. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Keep building your wealth, and we'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to check out our other videos for more investing tips, ETF strategies, and book reviews to continue growing your financial knowledge.